Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is kind of a weird day, but it's also an exciting day. It's weird because we're in my new-ish filming space. It's like, this is where I'm gonna film, this is the room I'm gonna film, but I have nothing set up behind me. I wasn't even planning on filming today, but it's an exciting day because my Artemis palette arrived from Alter Ego. If you guys aren't familiar with Alter Ego, they're an American-based kind of a dupe brand. I feel like sometimes dupe brand gets a bad rap, but they do create quite a few dupe palettes, and their latest palette was a dupe of the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, and I about died when I saw that they were going to dupe this palette, you guys. I was so excited. If you have been on my channel for the past couple of months, you'll know that I have been drooling over this palette for so long, and I feel like I've finally gotten to a place where I'm like, you know what? If I could just have a dupe, I would be totally satisfied. I wouldn't want the Natasha Denona one anymore. And lo and behold, here's the dupe. In today's video, I thought it would be fun to share my first impression along with a demo and some swatches. So if you guys are interested in learning more about this palette and seeing it in action, just keep watching. Alright you guys, so really briefly, I did want to touch on my ordering experience with Alter Ego. I have never ordered anything from them before, so this was a totally new experience for me, and I was really excited to test this formula out. So this palette actually launched on Thursday. I went on the website right when it launched, ordered my palette, checked out, no issues, and it actually arrived on the following Monday. So it was super quick to arrive, which always makes me really happy because I have like zero patience when it comes to shipping. I am constantly refreshing my shipping emails. When is it going to be here? When is it going to be here? But this one arrived super quickly. Everything was really nicely packaged in some bubble wrap. Nothing arrived broken. I ordered this palette along with the Goddess palette, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I am so excited to use that one, you guys. I'm not using it in this video, but I'll be sure to showcase it either on a Get Ready With Me on my Instagram stories or in a Get Ready With Me on YouTube. I am really excited to crack into that one. But today, we're just talking about this palette right here. It did retail for $22, and I did buy that other palette so I could get free shipping on Alter Ego's website, which is only $25, which is very reasonable. I feel like for some reason $25 and $30 is like a big jump for me. Like 25 bucks, I'm like, that's easy. I could place an order once a month and not feel that guilty. Or 30 bucks, I'm like, whoa, we're getting into some real money there. Does not make any sense, but that's how I feel. So before we did hop into the demo of this look that I created right here, I did want to hop into some comparisons between this palette and the actual Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. Obviously, this palette is rearranged a little bit differently than the Metropolis palette. I know that you can pop these shadows out because Alter Ego's palettes are magnetic, so you can pop these out and arrange them in the Natasha Denona format. I think I may do that eventually, but I'm just not like chomping at the bit to do it right now. So for now, I'm going to leave my palette arranged as it is, but you can definitely do that if you want it to be even more of a dupe of the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. Price-wise, the Metropolis palette is $129 versus this one, which is $22, which is an over $100 price difference, which is, that's a lot of money, you guys. That is a lot of money. The total weight of the Natasha Denona palette is 38.45 grams, while this one is only 28 grams. Honestly, that does not bother me in the slightest because I'm not really someone who puts pan on their eyeshadow very often, and smaller pan sizes make me feel a little bit less guilty about buying more eyeshadow because Lord knows I don't need more. They both come with 28 shades, and they both come with a mirror on the packaging. I would have preferred that this one didn't have a mirror just because mirrors are non-recyclable and it's much less eco-friendly, but so far so good with this palette, you guys. I had so much fun creating this look right here, so why don't we hop into the look. You guys, I am driving the Hot Mess Express today. I put like this cute little hair scarf in my hair to try to like fix the hair situation because I really wasn't planning on filming today, but then I got this palette and I was like, I can't not film. This video is just going to be interesting, let's just say that. Alright you guys, so to prime, I'm going to start out with my Essence I Heart Color Intensifying Eye Base as I usually do, and I'm just going to press that in with a sponge, and then just taking a little bit of my Beauty Bakery Flour Powder and just a little fluffy brush from Morphe. I'm just going to get a little bit of powder on there and kind of lightly set down my crease. I'm not really super concerned about setting my entire lid, but I do have hooded eyes and oily eyes, so I tend to crease a lot in my crease. You guys, it's time to dip into this palette. As I said, I was not even planning on filming today, but then I got this palette in, and I was just like so entranced by this color story that I just had to film with it, even though literally none of my filming stuff is set up. I mean, like my camera, my lights are obviously, but like this whole backspace, the whole desk I have back here, none of it's ready for filming, but that's fine. We are going to jump in with this palette today, and I think I kind of want to play with the blues and greens. I really want to play with this deep blue right here called Beau, because this is supposed to be a dupe for the cream to powder formula that Natasha Denona included in their Metropolis palette. But otherwise, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this look, you guys. I don't know. I think we're just going to dive in and hope for the best. Alright, so to start out with you guys, I think I want to take a little bit of the shade Entice on a fluffy brush. This is my BH Cosmetics number 5 Studio Pro brush. This is one of my favorite fluffy brushes. I'm going to do one eye on camera, one eye off camera, just to speed things up a little bit. But I'm going to start by fluffing this through my crease, kind of as a transition shade. There's not a whole lot of kick up in the pan. I was a little bit nervous testing out another dupe palette because the last one that I tested out was the Bad Habit dupe palettes, and those were a powdery mess, and I swear that the formula went bad after like 3 months. They were the worst. I hated them so much. But so far this one is applying much more nicely. It's applying a little bit patchy, but that could be because I just wiped this brush off on my makeup eraser and it was just a little bit damp. So I'm not going to hold that against the shadow just yet. I feel like that wind is really loud. I'm going to go shut that window really quick. Hope that's better, you guys. Alright, so far I'm really happy with how that first shade applied. I'm just going to buff it out with a bare blending brush. Okay, next I want to take a little bit of this shade right here called Silent, which is this beautiful like Granny Smith apple green, and I'm going to take a Morphe M433 brush. Ooh, I wonder if this is one of those cream to powder shades, because when I stick my brush in, not like a lot of kick up comes up, and it almost leaves like little indentations, but it's applying pretty nicely to my crease. I'm keeping this one much lower than the last shade that we applied, blending it directly into my crease and into my outer corner. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely one of those cream to powder shadows. It's just behaving a little bit differently than like a normal powder shadow. It's a little bit patchy. It could be the brush that I'm using though. I haven't swatched any of these shadows yet. I wanted to see how they performed on the eyes. Alright, I'm going to try a different brush. I literally have all of my brushes in like a big Ziploc bag right now. I'm going to try taking that shit again on my ColourPop E1 brush. This one's a synthetic brush. I'm not really sure if that Morphe brush is synthetic or natural haired. I feel like this is packing it on a little bit better. I feel like I'm still getting a little bit of funky patchiness right there in my crease, but I'm not really sure what to do about that. I'm just going to take the BH Cosmetics brush that we started out with that transition shade and just kind of blend over where we placed that green. I don't know. I'm undecided about how I feel about that formula. It's very, very strange. Now I want to dip into the shade Beau. Oh, this was the wrong brush. We're just going to use it anyways. This is the J1 brush from e.l.f. It's from their J Kiss a collab. I meant to grab, I think it's J3, but this will do the trick. And I'm just going to pack this shadow on my outer corner. That's going on really nicely. Wow. That is a really, really pretty blue, you guys. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take it a little bit up into my outer crease. I kind of want to wedge it up there and kind of create a line a little bit. It's been probably a solid week since I've done any kind of like intricate-ish makeup, so I'm a little off my game. But I'm just going to take the brush that I used with that green and just buff right over the blue just to smooth out any edges. Well, I feel like the blue is softening really nicely. I've got a little bit of a line in my outer corner right here. I'm gonna just get a little bit more of Silent on my brush and just try to diffuse out that edge a little bit more. Maybe these are the kind of shadows that you have to work in reverse with, like darkest to lightest. Okay, now that I feel like we've gotten a really nice diffused layer of Beau on the lids, I'm gonna go back into Beau with the same brush and I'm gonna pat it on my outer corners just to add a little bit of depth back. There's zero kick up in the pan with this shadow. That's so pretty. I am really, really excited about that, you guys. Alright, you guys, next we're going in with a little bit of my NYX glitter primer, and I like to squirt just a little bit on the back of my hand and then apply it to my lid with a brush. I do this with every single shimmer eyeshadow that I apply to my eyes because I have hooded, oily eyes, and so when my eyes are like relaxed like this, my lid touches my crease and I get a lot of transfer up there. and my oily eyes just make everything slide around. So glitter primer is my best friend, and I use it with every single shadow. But I'm just gonna start packing this on the inner half of my lid, and then I think I want to take the shade Scent right here. It looks like a really pretty like greeny gold shade with some really pretty sparkles in it. I am so excited to put it on my eyes. Just with that same brush, I'm just gonna press it on there. Oh my goodness, that is pretty. Wow. Wow. That is absolutely gorgeous. You guys, I'm really impressed with the look that I've been able to create with this palette so far. I'm gonna hop off camera, apply the eye look to this eye, and then finish off the rest of my face, and then we'll come back to finish off the eyes. Alright guys, we are back for my lower lash line, and I think I want to start out with this yellow shade called Hunt. Just taking this on a little chubby shader brush. That one appears to be a regular matte formula, not that cream to powder matte that we saw with the green and the deep blue, and I'm just kind of smoking it out on my lower lash line. Alright you guys, I'm feeling something shimmery on my lower lash line. I think I'm going to take the shade Pursuit right here. It's this beautiful deep teal blue shade. I'm just going to take this on a Luxie 141 brush, and I'm just going to smudge this on my lower lash line. I'm only bringing it in about 2/3 of the way. That's really pretty. Just going to take the brush we applied the yellow with and buff on the edges. And then I think for my inner corner, I'm going to try to take this shade Obscure. It looks like it might be just a little bit too dark because I'm so ghostly pale, but we're going to try it in the inner corner. Oh yeah, that's a bit of a deeper gold than I was hoping for my inner corner, but that's okay. Alright you guys, I'm going to finish this eye off and then hop off camera to finish off the rest of my makeup, and we'll come back to finish up this video. Alright you guys, here is the completed look with mascara and lips and everything all finished off. I'm really pleased with how these shadows performed. I'm a little bit like iffy on those cream to powder shadows, which were the shade Bow right here, as well as Silent. I haven't swatched them yet. I've just put them on my eyes at this point as I'm filming this video. They were a little bit more difficult to use. I'm gonna have to play with the formula and play with some different brushes to get some full thoughts on these, but so far, based upon my first impression upon application, I'm very happy with how these shadows performed. So you guys, I'm not gonna make you wait any longer. I'm not gonna make myself wait any longer. Let's hop into some swatches of these shadows. Also, please excuse what's happening in the background right now. As I said, this is kind of just like my temporary, I just got this palette in and I can't wait to film with it, filming space. Eventually there will be some nice stuff back there. I might have a different desk back here, and I'm kind of thinking I might need another light. But this is just temporary for now, but I just had to film with this palette. So anyways, I'm gonna stop blabbering on and hop into some swatches. I feel like I should start like this way. So I'm gonna start with the first 3 shades. The first shade is called Hunt, and it's a beautiful mustard yellow. Then we have Provoke, which is a beautiful bronze, and then we have Entice, which is kind of a nice like matte camel-y color. I'm just gonna do some quick arm swatches today. I do plan on putting some swatches up on my Instagram, so if you guys are looking for some more like refined swatches, head over there. I'm sure I will have some up soon. I have those shades right there. The mattes swatched okay. They swatched like most mattes do. The shimmer swatched really beautifully though. Next we have the shade Obscure, which is a beautiful kind of champagne-y tone. Ravage, which is a gorgeous copper, and Catch, which is like a bronzy golden shade. So Obscure. Ooh, that has some like unexpected peachiness to it. I'm really enjoying that shade. Ravage and Catch. I'm seeing a lot of like kind of goldenly warm bronzy tones, which is making me very thankful that I just grabbed this palette and didn't buy the big palette, because I think I would be a little bit irritated by all the repetition. Alright, we've got one final shade in this row. It's called Trap. I think it's an orange matte shade. I wonder if this is one of those cream to powder ones. It feels a little bit weird. We'll have to see when we swatch it. Silent, which is definitely a cream to powder shadow. It's like a green apple green. And then the shade Scent, which is the shade I put all over my lid, and I am obsessed with this shade, you guys. I'm so happy with how it performed. Alright, we have Trap, Silent, and Scent. Okay, scent is definitely swatching much more sheerly than it went onto my lids. I did use a glitter glue when I put it on my lids, and I think that might be the way to go with it because it is a little bit sheer right here. Silent did not swatch well at all, and I feel like Trap came off a lot more softly than I thought it would based on how it looks in the pan. But again, that might be that cream to powder formula that we're seeing. Alright, now we have the shade Camouflage, just a beautiful deep antique gold. Victory, which is a midnight blue shade, and then Stock, which is the most gorgeous copper shade. I am so excited to swatch this one, you guys. Alright, we have Camouflage, Victory, and Stock. Ooh! Oh my goodness, I need to do a look with these two, like, ASAP. I kind of wish I did that today. Those are really pretty. I feel like the shimmers don't feel extraordinarily creamy, but they are swatching really well. I can probably put a couple more swatches on that arm. Okay, now we have the shade Quiver, Snare, and Thrill. I think Quiver is one of those cream to powder shadows as well. So Quiver, Snare, and Thrill. I'm sorry, I feel like these are terrible swatches, you guys. Oh, it is a pretty palette though. Alright, these swatches are going to get worse because now I have to switch to using my left hand to swatch onto my right arm. But here we are with Spear, Chase, and Pursuit. Spear, Chase, Pursuit. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I was in frame for that, you guys. Those are really, really pretty. Okay, next up we have Captivate, which is a cream to powder. Pluck, and Bow, which is once again a cream to powder. Cream? No. This is Captivate, not Cream. I don't even know where I got Cream from. Pluck, and Bow. Those are pretty. They are so crooked. I'm sorry that they're so crooked, but they are absolutely gorgeous. Next we have Ambush, which I can't tell if this is like a black or blue. I think it's a blue. It feels like a cream to powder. Prowl and Stealth. All three of those felt like that cream to powder formula. Okay, we have Ambush, Prowl, and Stealth. Ooh, Stealth has a lot of vibrancy that I did not expect from it. It looks very, very deep in the pan. Oh, those are pretty. Alright, now we have Pounce, Lure, and Conquer. Pounce. Oh, that one was intense. Lure and Conquer. Alright, guys, and then the last shade in the palette is called Quest, and I think I got a little bit of Conquer on my finger when I swatched that. Beautiful. Here's the palette. I'm going to do some better swatches really quick and fit them all on one arm, and I'll insert a close-up of those right here so you guys can get a really good look at the shadows, because I feel like that was like the worst swatch party ever. But I did want to show you guys kind of how they go onto the arm in live time. So I'm going to do some better swatches right here. Alright, you guys, you've seen swatches of this palette, you've seen this palette in action. What do you think about it? I am really, really enjoying it so far. I'm really curious to play around with those cream to powder shadows a little bit more because they are such a unique formula and unlike anything I've ever used before. They were definitely workable on the eyes. They're just not the most easy to use shadows I've ever used or easy to use shadows in my collection. I have had some experience with Natasha Denona's shadows in the past. I don't have a ton of experience, but I do have her Sunrise palette, and I think it's a good palette, but I don't think it's like the end-all be-all of eyeshadow formulas. So I'm not sure if I would call this like a total formula dupe yet. I don't really think it's a formula dupe, but I'm gonna have to touch the shadows side by side, do some more swatching, see kind of how they feel and how they perform on the eyes. Even if they're not color dupes, they might be similar formulas. But overall, I give this palette a thumbs up. Again, this is just my first impression, so take it with a grain of salt, but I did want to get this out there for you guys because I know a lot of you were drooling over this palette just like I was. And up until launch day, there was really not a lot of information out about this palette, so I wanted to get my thoughts out there along with my swatches in this quick little look right here. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this palette. Would you buy this palette over the actual Metropolis palette? Would you rather just buy the Natasha Denona palette for the experience of having the Natasha Denona palette? I would love to chat about it with you guys down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I think that's gonna wrap it up today. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!